What is up, everyone? What is up? How's it going? It is time to bring you another live recording of the H.E.R.O Project podcast. We're live on Facebook. We are doing this also as a podcast, so this will get released next week. What we're going to do is a little Monday motivation. Today, we are going to be talking about your purpose and how important your purpose is and how to create a culture that is purpose-driven. All right? So let's keep this short. Let's keep it motivational. Number one, if you're watching on Facebook, please give us a heart and a like, and please comment #live. If you are listening to the podcast, please share the podcast. We ask you, if you get benefit from this, to share it with folks, to make sure that people are becoming aware of this, because we think it's impactful. So if it impacts your life or your business in any way, please share this with others. All right. So I'm going to start this by sharing a Bible quote. All right. This is the parable of the sower. If you don't know this, you should. This relates very, very closely to how you build a business. Okay. So listen. So this would be like this appears both in Mark as well as Matthew, but this version's from Mark. Listen. Behold, a sower went out to sow, and as he sowed, some seed fell along the path, and the birds came along and devoured it. Other seed fell on rocky ground, where it did not have much soil, and immediately it sprang up, since it had no depth of soil. And when the sun rose, it was scorched, and since it had no root, it withered away. Other seed fell among thorns, and the thorns grew up and choked it, and it yielded no grain. And other seeds fell into good soil and produced grain, growing up and increasing and yielding 30-fold and 60-fold and 100-fold. And he said, he who has ears to hear, let him hear. Okay, so why am I getting religious on you? Because it has been said by quite a few people who have built great businesses, something along the lines of this, because great businesses, and I would apply this to great teams, great organizations, great governments, whatever it is, they are something quite a lot more than a company, and something just a little bit less than a religion or a cult. And if you want to have a great business, if you want to produce something outstanding, if you want to leave your mark on the world, if you want to make a difference, you are going to have to figure out how to cultivate soil. So what do farmers do? Farmers are always worried about the composition of their soil. And if you have a business, or you have a family, or you're the leader of a team, your soil is your purpose, your vision, your mission, and your core values. Your primary job is to cultivate a culture where people are clear on what your aim is, what your purpose is. Your primary job is to cultivate a culture where the rest of the team can see the vision just as well as you can. Okay? They have to understand where you're headed. They have to understand what you're aimed at, and they have to understand what the priorities are. And if they do not, you will have a discombobulated, disorganized culture. If you've ever had a situation where, hey, you're able to onboard employees, you're able to get people excited, you're able to you get them on and they're excited for the first 6 weeks or a month, and then they just fall off because they're confused. It's because there isn't a clarity of purpose and they don't understand the core aim of the company. And that destroys your culture. Right? The New England Patriots have had this, right? Every great football team has this. Every great basketball team has this, right? The Chicago Bulls of Michael Jordan's era. There's a very, very clear aim. There is a very, very, very clear set of standards. And if you don't have these, you are going to be lost trying to figure out how to get to the next level. And you're always going to be bumping up against a ceiling. Okay. So many business owners want to treat this as just some esoteric idea that's nice to have. right? But if you think about great companies, it's said that Elon Musk makes every single decision with in the view of, does this get us closer or further away from colonizing Mars? He's very clear about his purpose, and he's very clear about what he's aimed at. And he expects the people around him to be aimed at the same thing and to make decisions the same way. Okay. My family, my wife and I have had sit down conversations to clarify these ideas, to talk through and figure out what is our core purpose with our family? What impact do we want to have? Because you're going to have challenges. You're going to have to make choices as a family, right? When you have 4 kids, it's very busy and things are happening. You're going to have behavior issues. You're going to have things that pop up where it's like, man, we don't know what to do. And we have to have a North Star that we can go back to and say, is this in line with the outcome that we want for our family? Is this in line with the type of men we're trying to create because we have 4 boys? We can judge our decisions and we can judge our actions, and we can take our everything back to the concept of, am I creating what I want to create? Is this going to bring about the outcomes that I want? Okay. And you have to do the same thing in your company. Your job as a leader is to cultivate the soil. The soil must be healthy. Just like the farmer's always measuring the minerals, right? What kind of salts are in there, the potassium, the magnesium. What does my soil need in order to be healthy? They don't just expect, oh, it's all up to the seed, right? The seed that I put in the soil is going to determine how good the corn grows. No, they know that it's the quality of the soil, and it's their responsibility to manage the quality of the soil. It's their responsibility to culture the soil. What's the microbiome in there? That's what's going to lead to the best quality corn growing out of that soil. And it's absolutely no different with your company. It's absolutely no different with your family. It's absolutely no different with your team. So guys, on this Monday or whenever you're listening to this, go out there and get it. If you're watching live, give us a hashtag replay if you watch this later. And if you're watching this on the podcast, please share it. Make sure this info gets out there, and go crush it this week. Talk to you guys soon.